Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shah. The big story that we are tracking at this hour, the former Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy, he has broken his silence over the raging Tirupati Prasadam Rao, dismissing the charges that animal fat and fish oil were present in the Laddoos that were offered to the devotees at this shrine. Reddy hit out at Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu, saying that he was trying to divert attention and doing politics in the name of God. Meanwhile, the Temple Trust has backed Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu's claim. Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam has said that not having its own adulteration laboratory or not sending the ghee samples to outside labs for quality testing were the main reasons for this compromise.
The Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam CEO has confirmed that the National Dairy Development Board's calf lab in Gujarat had found the presence of animal fat, including fish oil, beef tallow, lard, that is a pig fat derivative, in the cow ghee samples meant for use in Tirupati Laddoo and sent for suspected adulteration testing in July.
The reports unfortunately didn't come clear, then we rejected, we sent away. And then we stopped from that supplier.
Former Chief Minister and YSRCP leader YS Jagan Mohan Reddy called it a diversionary tactic and said every cow ghee tanker that enters Tirumala comes with a certification of 3 mandatory tests issued by the National Accreditation Board for Laboratories.
To divert people's attention from this act of his, he had stooped down to the extent of tarnishing the image and reputation of our temple.
The centre has also sought a report from the state government.
उस रिपोर्ट है जिस स्टोर से आई है उस रिपोर्ट को पूरी तहकीकात करके उसके सारे पहलुओं पर ध्यान करके सूटेबल एक्शन विल बी टेकन अकॉर्डिंगली जो भी कानून के दायरे में और जो भी हमारे नियमावली फूड सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया के तहत आती है उसके तहत हम इस पर कार्रवाई।
हम सब जो भक्त हैं भगवान तिरुपति के, सबकी आस्था के साथ खिलवाड़ हुआ है। जो दोषी है उसको कड़ी से कड़ी और तुरंत सजा मिलनी चाहिए। इसको फास्ट ट्रैक पे आपको इसकी जांच करनी पड़ेगी, करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि करोड़ों लोगों का, हम सबकी आस्था का इसमें सवाल है।
On Wednesday, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu had mentioned that adulterated poor quality items were used to prepare food items in Tirumala and said he was pained that the cow ghee had contained animal fat. He said adulterated ghee was used because it was cheap.
We have to dig deep and we have to find out where anything has happened, and if it has happened, where the system was a failure. So we have to correct it, and we have to see that these kind of incidents, if it has happened, should not be repeated.
After the controversy over the sanctity of the Tirupati Laddoo being violated, Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan has sought the formation of a Sanatana Dharma Parirakshana Parishad that would oversee matters related to Hindu religion.
It is directly hurting the sentiments of crores of people like us.
Tamil Nadu's Dindigal-based AR Diary, that was blacklisted, says they were certified for quality and there were no deviations. The price of cow ghee in the market in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka hovers around 700 rupees per kg, whereas the price quoted by TTD is 320 rupees per kg. That has now been hiked to up to 500 rupees.
Best cow ghee today cannot be less than 1000 rupees per kg. How can a person quote 320 rupees? If somebody is quoting 320 rupees, I am not going exact amount value, but if he is quoting 320 rupees, every packet of that might be containing adulterated ghee.
Political storm over a laddu. But this is no ordinary laddu. This is the Tirupati Laddoo that is much revered and loved as well. Interestingly, the executive officer of TTD has clarified that cow ghee was never sent for testing in the past. But now they are going to get a 75 lakh rupees equipment from the NDTV lab in order to be able to test the quality of cow ghee to be used for the Tirupati Laddoo. With camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
NDTV has accessed the remand copy of choreographer Sheikh Janni Basha, aka Janni Master, who has been accused with charges of sexual harassment. He has confessed to his crime, according to the police. Now, according to the remand copy, the victim made contact with Janni in 2019. In 2020, he sexually abused her in a Mumbai hotel after hiding her as his assistant. The police stated in this remand report that the victim was 16 at that time. She was sexually abused multiple times over the course of 4 years. The Telugu choreographer Janni Master, he has worked on dance sequences in big-ticket films like Bahubali and Pushpa, and he was arrested after this 21-year-old employee accused him of sexual harassment over several years, including when she was a minor. An army officer's friend arrested last week and released on bail on Wednesday on charges of assaulting cops and vandalizing police property. He has said that she was sexually harassed and her partner illegally jailed while trying to file a complaint at a police station near Odisha's Bhubaneswar. The Odisha government has suspended these 5 police officers.
Shocking allegations of assault in custody against the Orissa Police by a woman and her army officer friend who say the woman was sexually assaulted and her partner wrongfully jailed by cops at this police station in Bhubaneswar when they were trying to file a police complaint. The couple were allegedly assaulted by the police after a heated argument past midnight last Saturday when they went to the station to register a complaint against some miscreants who indulged in rash driving and abused the couple.
फीमेल ऑफिसर ने आके मुझे बाल पकड़ते हुए खींचा जब खींचा उतने में और एक लेडी ने उनको ज्वाइन करते हुए मुझे थप्पड़ मारा और नीचे गिराया.
After a notice by the National Commission for Women, an outrage over videos that showed the woman in a neck brace with her right arm in a sling indicating a fracture, the Odisha government has suspended 5 police officials and promised a swift inquiry. The police meanwhile have claimed the woman and her friend had attacked an on-duty officer while drunk and also vandalized computers and furniture inside the police station. She was arrested by the cops and then granted bail by the Orissa High Court this week.
We demand a full judicial inquiry into this matter and action must be taken very quickly.
मैं इस लड़की से मिली हूँ, डीसीपी से भी मिली हूँ. केस में 5 पुलिस ऑफिसर को सस्पेंड किया डीजी पुलिस ने और मुख्यमंत्री के निर्देश के हिसाब से मैंने आके एम्स में मिली. वो सही सलामत हैं.
The Odisha government has asked the state police's crime branch to investigate the case. With Saurabh Gupta, Bureau Report, NDTV.
In a tragic accident in Gurugram, a 23-year-old biker, he was killed in this accident. This accident was caught on camera. From what you can see on your screens, a car was coming from the wrong side and this person collided with that car. This accident occurred on the golf course road in Gurugram.
Caught on camera, this shocking accident in Gurgaon that took the life of 23-year-old biker Akshat Garg. This video shows Akshat's bike crashing head-on into a Mahindra SUV that was on the wrong side of the road. The impact was such that Akshat was thrown off his bike behind the car. The front of the SUV was wrecked. Shockingly, the SUV driver was arrested but was released on bail almost immediately.
You can see the SUV car, it's a luxury car, and the severe dent is suggestive of how forcefully the car sort of collided into the motorbike, which led to the death of the 21-year-old biker who was heading towards Cyber City with his friend.
यही मांग है कि मेरे बच्चे को इंसाफ मिले और मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए. एक गलत इंसान है, एक मेरे बच्चे को मार दिया. बस मुझे इससे कुछ नहीं है. क्यों उसको छोड़ा गया, मेरे को यही है कि क्यों छोड़ा गया उसको, क्यों छोड़ा गया कि भाई मेरा बच्चा मेरा बच्चा चला गया, लेकिन वो आराम से सोया उस रात, वो आराम से सोया। क्यों पुलिस ने उसको छोड़ा? और पुलिस क्यों नहीं हेल्प कर रही है हमारी? क्यों नहीं हेल्प कर रही?
The Gurgaon police said that they would investigate the case swiftly and claimed that they've issued more than 16,000 challans for wrong side driving in August. The SUV driver Kuldeep Kumar from Bihar faces rash and negligent driving charges. This was not enough though to keep him in prison.
तो मुझे लगता है कि अभी तक तो हमने जो कार्रवाई की है वो विधि सम्मत है और कानून के तहत की गई है। फिर भी यदि लगता है आगे भविष्य में कोई इस तरीके के फैक्ट्स, इस तरीके के कोई एविडेंसेस आते हैं कि इसमें कोई और सेक्शन ऐड करने की ज़रूरत पड़े तो हम लोग करेंगे इसमें।
While this fatal car bike crash in Gurgaon has raised concerns about the road safety in Gurgaon, at the same time it has demanded justice because the 21-year-old biker who lost his life when it collided with the SUV driver, the accused was granted bail the same day he was arrested due to negligent and rash driving. Although he was unable to produce his driving license, he was granted bail on the same day. The mother of the victim has questioned the law and order of the state as to how can a person be granted bail so quickly after this kind of a fatal accident. With camera person Kamal Khan, this is Shreya for NDTV Gurgaon.
3 border security force soldiers were killed and 6 were injured when the bus in which they were travelling fell into a gorge in Jammu and Kashmir's Budgam district. The 6 injured soldiers, they are critical. This is what the police has said. The 52-seater vehicle was part of a 7-bus convoy going for the BSF's induction for deployment for the next phase of the assembly election. The police added that 35 BSF soldiers, they were travelling in this particular bus. And a truck belonging to the Pune Municipal Corporation, it fell into a huge sinkhole that suddenly appeared in the parking area of the city post office located in the Samadhan Chowk of the Budhwar Pet area in Pune. The dramatic visuals captured on CCTV shows the tanker falling inside this particular sinkhole. In the meanwhile, repair work and investigation is underway. And time now for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side. Welcome back. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he is set to leave for the United States on Saturday. This is Prime Minister's high-profile 3-day visit to the United States. The Prime Minister is going to meet the US President Joe Biden as well and also addressed the summit of the future. My colleague Vishnu Shoms has more details.
Well, I'm in Wilmington in Delaware. It's about 3 odd hours away from New York. This is one of the homes of the US President Joe Biden, and it is over here that there are going to be 2 important events that take place tomorrow. Firstly, a one-on-one meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the US President Joe Biden, and then also the Quad Summit, which is a very important meeting of the leaders of 4 nations, which are partners: Japan, Australia, India, and the United States. The Quad Summit was meant to be held in India, but at the request of the United States and looking at the convenience of the other leaders, it's being held here now. The next Quad Summit next year is going to be in India. The Prime Minister arrives here at about 10:15 local time, approximately that, perhaps a little bit up and down. And then he lands in Philadelphia, and then he comes over here. And then, of course, there is that one-on-one meeting, following which there will be the Quad Summit. The Prime Minister, after this, moves to New York City. And tomorrow he travels from New York City to Long Island, where there will be a huge community event. The Prime Minister has a huge following over here among NRIs. We've seen his reach to the diaspora. We expect to see a very major event day after tomorrow. He will then be meeting CEOs of leading American companies and also attending the Future Summit, which we spoke about briefly, before he returns to India.
The political landscape in Sri Lanka is set to change as its citizens elect a new president on Saturday. Sri Lanka's 17 million voters, they will choose from among 39 candidates in the country's first election after the People's Uprising of 2022, which led to then President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's ouster. Who are the front runners? What's at stake? And what are the implications for India? Here is a ground report.
The political landscape in Sri Lanka is set to change as its citizens elect a new president on Saturday. Sri Lanka's 17 million voters will choose from among 39 candidates in the country's first election after the People's Uprising of 2022, which led to then-President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's ouster. With contenders like incumbent Ranil Wickremesinghe, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, and National People's Power leader Anura Kumara Dissanayake in the running, the stakes are high. Poll surveys and experts suggest that Lankan voters are prioritizing issues such as economy, education, health, law and security, matters of corruption and wrongdoing among politicians, which dominated the electoral narrative, have receded in the background after the 2022 unrest.
The most important issue in this election is the economy, because we are suffering the huge economical crisis and we are recovering it. So everybody in the country is looking for how we can survive for the next decades. That's why the people are thinking who is the best person to manage the economy.
Sri Lanka has a crucial significance in India's geostrategic policies. Speaking to NDTV's Gauri Dwivedi in Colombo, the Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe said the country will ensure India's security is not affected by its ties with China.
Will also ensure that nothing will affect the security of India.
On the other hand, the opposition says that Sri Lanka needs to have a cordial relationship with India and that the country will propose inclusion of India in the United Nations Security Council as it is reflection of present geopolitical realities.
It has even proposed that India be included in the United Nations Security Council.
As Sri Lanka inches closer to its presidential elections, the country's foreign policy, particularly in relations with India, hangs in the balance. With multiple leading candidates vying for the highest office, the outcome of this election could redefine Colombo's diplomatic course with New Delhi. Each contender offers a distinct vision of Sri Lanka's international role, with India sitting prominently at the crossroads.
What is interesting that is in the manifestos of the current president, the connectivity issue, including the bridge, is specifically mentioned. And even with the leader of the opposition's manifesto, the energy connectivity issue is specifically mentioned. These are not things that have been found in Sri Lankan election manifestos in the past.
In recent times, anti-India sentiment has surged in the neighborhood because of various reasons, be it Nepal, Maldives, Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. Politicians have been successful in diverting the people's ire towards India. India has stakes in a stable and peaceful Sri Lanka. It wants to restrict China's growing interference in the country because of its geostrategic location in the Indo-Pacific. The 99-year lease of Hambantota port to China in 2017, feeding the debt trap narrative, has exacerbated India's concerns. But experts feel that India's general perception has changed over the years. India needs all the goodwill it can command in order to navigate the increasing complexities in the neighborhood, the escalating regional conflicts, and a continuous shift in the global economic order. A friendly, stable neighborhood will be a good start. With Mohammad Ghazali, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Time now for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.